Europa League. Right. How do you feel about it so far?
Oh, I don't know. Like it was an unnecessarily laborious task beating Rapid Vienna, And Leno again is proving that we probably got rid of the wrong goalkeeper.
I know.
I don't know.
What is it about that?
This whole everyone's been trying to justify to me this whole playing from the back business. What all the top teams do it. It's the modern way of going about it. It doesn't work for us. All it does is land us into trouble
Especially when
every
you've
single
got
time.
like what? Who did I see? Who was in defence for that game? It was David Luiz and who else was it?
David Luiz and it wasn't Rob Holding. Rob Holding's injured. It was Gabriel, I think.
Gabriel. I mean, Gabriel's showing promise from what I've seen. So all the best to him. But at the same time, I don't know. I could say that playing from the back kind of doesn't even things out enough. It doesn't allow enough creativity.
If we had a solid kind of foundation up and down the field,
Hmm.
if we were fundamentally a good team in all areas, we could probably make that work. But the the back half of our team is so shaky at the moment.
Mm.
And the goalkeeper just does not have any confidence in his defense in front of him. You can tell because essentially we were doing that whole rinky dink stupid passing around the box thing, giving it back to Louise, and then Louise gives it back to Leno. Leno immediately gives it to one of the Rapid Vienna players and they score.
Mm. Yeah. What was the score in the end?
It was 2-1 to us, but
Uh,
we made a meal of it,
yeah.
essentially.
However, I could probably give a few points from the Tottenham and Lask game. Now, I think we could have scored a few more goals because it was 3-0 to us. But at the same time, it was Carlos Vinicius' first game with us, and I think he's shown a lot of promise. I think he can do a lot better, but I think that for his first outing and getting 2 assists in, that that is the best of what we can hope from him. And from Mourinho saying post-match press conference that there is a possibility that he can play 2 up front with Kane and Carlos. That would be quite a promising forward for us as well as trying to get used to the way Carlos plays, because he's a bit more pacey kind of striker than Kane is. Kane's very much like a solid target man. He's a chance creator, all that kind of stuff. But it looks like Carlos is showing those sorts of things as well with a bit of an added pace. But Kane has got those eyes to seek out anyone in the forwards or midfields. What else happened from the game? Gareth Bale, the second goal was an own goal, and Gareth Bale kicked it and caused an own goal essentially because the defender just kicked it into the box. Lucas scored the first goal, and I've got to say, like, Lucas hasn't played very well at the start of the season, but the way that he was playing in this game and from the competition that's being shown in the from this reinforcement of the depth of the squad, it's really giving us that
It's
sort
giving
of
him an incentive. Yeah.
the incentive that he's got to work harder. And I got to say as well, like, Ben Davis was captain. I thought you'd never hear that in a million years. But he was captain. Sergio Reguilon was on the left back, and Ben Davis played centre back. And I got to say that he really showed his A game in that position, and it shows a possibility of rotation. If he can play like that, then all the more power to him for being a centre back as well as a left back. So I'm happy about the result, and I think throughout the rest of the group stages, I think it shows promise. I think the hardest game for us is going to be Ludogorets, but we'll see. And
I don't think you have a hard game, to be honest. I think you're
no, I think
both of our groups should be a cakewalk, really. But we made a mountain out of a molehill against Rapid Vienna. They can't be that good,
But it depends who gets knocked out of the Champions League as well, and then comes into the Europa League.
3-0 seems like an apt result, really, for a team of your caliber against Lask,
Yeah,
Whereas I don't know, like I just don't want. I want to at least get out of the group stage.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I don't know.
Joe.
There's something off about our team at the moment. I can't put my finger on it. Partey looks good, which is great news.
Mm-hmm. I think we've got the depth. I think there are some players that need some toughing up, like Harry Winks. I think he's just average at this point, and with players like Ndombele and Lo Celso showing much promise, and Sissoko improving from game to game, but then he then shows a bit of decline and then more incline, and it's a bit weird with Sissoko. That's why he's like he starts and then he doesn't, and
he's inconsistent.
Yeah. Eric Dyer's currently injured, and I'd say he's our best centre back at the moment. Like compared to last year, I think he's really showed a massive improvement.
He's playing at centre back.
Yeah, he was CDM, and then he requested Jose play him at centre back because he preferred that position. And
interesting.
Yeah, it's and Joe Hart yesterday. I think he had a really good game. Like there was a belter that he saved, and he stretched like an orangutan to save it.
He actually played again.
Yeah, he played the full game.
So he's your Europa League keeper then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Not bad.
But he's very.
That's the thing about Spurs. You do have good strength in depth, whereas we somehow contrived to have 5 centre backs, maybe even 6 centre backs. I've lost count really.
Is that trying to make up for the lack of depth?
We only have 2 because they're either all injured or ineligible.
Yeah, it's kind of like Man City last season, wasn't it? When
just typical Arsenal.
Yeah,
everyone's injured.
It kind of reminds me of Man City last season when what's his name was injured.
Stones.
No, not Stones. Well, Stones as well, but how have I owned? It's every time I go into a podcast, I forget someone's name. The French centre back. Laporte, that's the one. Aymeric Laporte. And then they started playing Fernandinho in centre back, where his natural position is a defensive midfielder, and it's that's what the Katie's ringing me, but I'll cut it off for a bit.
Confident then Europa League?
Yeah, I am quite confident. I'm confident in this season at the moment. I think going back to the West Ham game, props. I reluctantly will talk about it, but props to West Ham for coming back at that. I think we did let the forwards down with that. With
they just got a draw against Man City.
Did they? So
they were actually leading as well.
Yeah, they have shown a lot of strength gain in this season.
It's
so
interesting. It's interesting. This is going to be one of those funny seasons where you can't tell who's going to finish where.
Yeah, because like the result yesterday at Aston Villa and Leeds, that was just insane.
That was a mad result. A Bamford hat-trick. I don't even think he's that good.
And this second goal was like an absolute belter. I looked at the highlights, and I put money down on. I think I put money down on both of them to win, so I'd get something back. Because there was it was very what's the word? It was very the bets were kind of to your favour. I think I bet on William Hill anyway, but. I'm
not a betting guy.
I just put 10 pence in or something like that just to get.
Partly because I'm useless at predicting results.
Yeah, that's why. Especially with football because it's so unpredictable. But
especially this season. This season's like the most unpredictable season I can think of. Really.
Yeah, I think
everything about it is unpredictable. Where you don't know which player is going to be suddenly out from here to now. Van Dijk. Being injured for, I don't know, he might be out for 8 months. I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard he's getting knee surgery. That was just
if he's getting surgery, then that definitely places a definitive long-term timestamp on his return. Him being out has thrown the title race wide open. I feel we have. I don't even know where we're going to finish. I don't know where Spurs are going to finish. Man City look frail at the moment.
Man City, Man U, Liverpool have now lost a key player, but we'll see how. Well, they just beat Ajax 1-0, so there's still. I think they've still got some strength here and there. They probably play Fabinho in defence, but Fabinho he's a key player as well, so in his position, so that's going to be a bit of a tough one. But Klopp is a great man, so I would strongly back him 100% if I was a Liverpool fan. I think who else? I think Burnley have got the least amount of chances at the moment because they've just got no depth whatsoever. Sorry to say.
No, they're probably going to go down, I think.
Yeah, I know we've got them on Monday. I do feel sorry for them.
Be all right, you know.
Yeah, Leeds, they invested a lot in the in the transfer window. Aston Villa got some key players in, so Liverpool got some things.
Villa and Everton obviously are flying high.
Yeah.
So it's so unpredictable. It's like the early 80s.
Yeah, I do think. Villa. Yeah, I was saying to my colleague who's a Liverpool fan. I was saying Liverpool should have bought some sort of centre back in the in the transfer window, and he agreed because like if something happens, you haven't got that depth, and you already just sold off Lovren, who was a liability apparently for Liverpool anyway. So it seems to be, I don't know if it's that second season syndrome for Liverpool. It tends to happen. Only some clubs don't really suffer from it, like Real Madrid, but that's a different league entirely. But the Premier League is so unpredictable. So we'll see what happens, because it's just who can unlock that key to just break through everyone, and that will be the outright win. I don't think there's going to be an outright winner this season. I think it's going to be quite close.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's going to be ultra competitive, and whether we'll have any fans in by the end of the season to witness some of these matches, who knows?
Absolutely.